Intro first. MASANi back with another video. You already know the dealio. It's been a minute. I have not seen you guys in a minute. And we're gonna get into that probably later or not at all in this video specifically. But in today's video, I did want to share with you guys, I don't want to call them tips because they're not necessarily tips, but as I get older, I learn more about myself, I learn more about others, navigating life, all of that. And I want to get into some lessons, I guess you could say, some lessons that I have learned along this journey. I am 26, so you know, there's so much, God willing, there's so much life for me to live, but this is what I've learned so far. The first lesson that I wanted to discuss was boundaries. Boundaries are important. You all have heard this one, I'm pretty sure from several other people, but my take on it is that as I get older, and also being a former people pleaser, boundaries are important for me because it allows me to choose myself. I think as a woman, we are trained to put other people in front of us, and it could be draining. And when you have boundaries in place, it's going to feel a bit, you know, it's gonna feel different when you've never done it, but it has helped me also navigating relationships, because when I put these boundaries in place, how the person on the other end responds to that also shows me, you know, how they feel and how they respect me, because people are around you usually because you benefit them, and when you're not doing something that benefits them, how are they going to treat you? How are they going to respect that? Yeah, that's definitely a big one for me. And also learning how to set these boundaries in a way that is still respectful. That's something I am still working on. I don't always do that because people like to push, all right? And then when you push, I push, and now what up? But I'm working on it. I'm working. Another lesson that I have learned is that how people treat you says more about themselves than it says about you. A lot of people are hurting. I'm like talking this way because I just feel like I look cute from this angle, but a lot of people are hurt, and a lot of people really don't even know where that hurt stems from, or like people will act out a certain way and they'll just think it's their personality, but really it stems from like something that happened longer ago. So now how it plays out is, you know, differently now that they're older. And we're gonna get into that because I also did that, but that's later on the list, right? It also allows you to not just, I'm an overthinker and a former people pleaser. And if someone's treating me a certain way, I'm gonna think about what I did wrong. I'm gonna think about, you know, just like what was the cause, reaction, why did that? And sometimes it's like, no, sometimes things are weird, and that's okay. It's not okay, like I feel bad for y'all, but sometimes that's just it. That's just it. People are weird. Another life lesson that I have learned is that not everything needs a response. Like, and when I was younger, maybe about a good 2 to 3 years ago, I remember I was getting into it with the people in my home, and I was right. Like, I was right about the situation, you know? I was like going hard defending the fact that I was right about the situation. And, you know, things led to another. And then my dad called me and he was just like, yo, like, even though you're right, like, I don't know what he said verbatim because this was a couple years ago, but he was just like, just because you're right doesn't mean you need to like always prove it or something like that. I don't know what he said, but like, it was just like, he said something along the lines of that. And at the time I was like, no, like, I'm a do this and I'm gonna do that. And it's just like, sometimes people want a reaction out of you, you know? And even though I knew that, I still wanted to defend myself because I just felt like if I'm not like, I guess at the time I didn't feel like other people were defending me. So if I don't feel like other people are defending me, I'm we're not even gonna get into it because I feel like I'm getting a little emotional as I'm talking about it. But to keep it short and sweet, silence is golden. It's important to know when and when not to speak, and when you are practicing when and when not to speak, you look like the more mature one. You look like the more mature one because you're not just popping off and being emotional, and it's just like, zip it, please, you know? And it allows you to think before you speak. And you can respond, but you can respond in a way that's more so like, what do you mean by that? Instead of, so they can repeat what they said, so they could hear like, oh wait, like, if they do have the balls to repeat it. Okay, so another lesson that I have learned is that my emotions are a gift. Growing up, I was told by family members that I was like sensitive, right? And oh, like, you're sensitive, like blah blah blah, right? And I mean, granted, I am sensitive, but I think having emotional intelligence is very important. And the people that have told me that I am sensitive, let's just say from a scale of 1 to 10 of emotional intelligence, they're on the lower end, right? Cool. And in the same breath, these are people that come to me for advice, or when they just want to vent, or, you know, have an opinion that is constructive. If they want an opinion, these are the same people that come to me when they want to talk about something. Why? Because that emotional intelligence is present. It's present. So you call me emotional, but you come to me for that same thing that you want to feel, right? And as I got older, no, when I was younger, I looked at that as a fault, because usually emotions are equated to weakness. And it's like, no, it's not. I am someone that pays very close attention to the details of it all. And when I pay attention to the details of it all and you add in the emotions, that's a beautiful combination. A beautiful combination is what I'm realizing. And I used to look at both of them as like a negative, like hyper fixating on the details. You know, I'd be like, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that, I can't do that. And it's just like, actually, let's use that in your favor. How can you being able to pay attention to the details benefit you in the rooms and spaces that you're entering? How can your emotions benefit you in the rooms and spaces that you're entering? I'm gonna give you an example. So I have a brother who has been wanting to elevate his style, you know, switch up his wardrobe, all that, right? And he has asked me for help / advice when it comes to that, because he views me as someone that knows what I'm doing in that area. And he had his ears pierced, right? One of the things he wanted to do to like elevate his look was get his ears pierced. He got his ears pierced. Something's transpired and he wasn't able to keep the earring in, so the hole's closed, right? Now that he's out of that situation, he re-pierced his ears, but he did it himself with a kid at home, and the kid at home didn't give him, you know, like a diamond stud. It just gave him like a metal stud, right? Like nothing, there was nothing lavish or fashionable about the stud. It was just like what they use when they're first piercing your ears. And I was looking at photos of us, and I zoomed in and I saw the earrings, and I went online and I ordered him a pair of they're not real diamond studs, cubic zirconia or moissanite, one of them. Ordered him some studs, sent them over. He doesn't know that they're on their way over there, but I know that he's been wanting to elevate his style. I know that he pierced his ears for that. I'm paying attention to all these little things and I'm acting on it, right? That's like, my emotions play a role in doing things like that, because I can understand why you want it. Like, it's just a level of understanding and seeing people further than what they're showing you. Like, I always talk about, and I don't know why I do this, but I guess like with your phone, like when you zoom out, you gotta like move your finger. Like, let's zoom out of certain situations and see people for bigger than what they're just showing you, because it's always bigger than what we think it is. Not always, but usually. It's just the little things. And it's a gift, like it's such a gift, and I love that about myself. And yeah. Okay, so the last lesson on this list is don't expect you out of others. And I was thinking about it, I'm like, was this the hardest for me to do? No, they were all equally hard, but this one holds a special place in my heart because this was something that I felt so strongly about, right? I realized if you expect you out of others, you are going to be disappointed. And also, as I think about it a little harder, it also seems very self-centered, you know, very, like when you think about it, it's like, it's not about you though. Like not everybody is you, you know? And I have a family member who is like, if someone is doing something that they may not agree with, they'll say, oh, well, I would do this, and well, I would do that, and what I would do is this, and I would, and I'm like, you know what the key word is in here, right? The key word is I is not me, right? You would do that, I wouldn't do that. And it's just like, not everybody's going to think like you, not everybody had the same upbringing as you. Okay guys, so let's give an example. Let's say my birthday's coming up. Big deal, my birthday's a big deal to me, right? But let's say birthdays aren't a big deal to you. And for my birthday, you just send me a happy birthday text and, you know, like show love to me on my birthday. But like I deem us as like close, right? Also, let's say I've done something for you for your birthday, or like something for you, period. Let's say, not even a birthday, let's say you had anything, like let's say you had some type of thing where you got some type of like achievement, and I showed up and I showed out to support you, and I got you a gift. And now it's time to support me and get me something, you don't. I would feel a way about that. My freaking camera stopped recording, but I was saying that I would feel a way about that because I would feel like if we're supposed to be friends, if we're supposed to be close, and you know that something like this is special to me, and you don't do something that I would deem as special, I would feel like you don't see me. I would feel like you don't care about me, right? And I realized that I felt so strongly about that because there was a point in time in my life where I would show up for people. At the time, I was only in my freaking 20s, but if it's your freaking birthday, I'm baking you a freaking cake. You know, I'm doing something. If it's a holiday, I'm doing something. But when it was time to do something for me, nothing was done, right? It would just be like, happy birthday. And I realized that that hurt me, and I did not want other people to feel hurt the same way I felt hurt. So that's why I went like ham, full throttle when it came to certain holidays, because I didn't want anyone to feel how I felt. And like I wanted people to feel seen. Like I did not feel seen in that time period of my life, and I wanted the people that I love to feel seen, so I went out of my way to do that. And when people did not do that for me, this is what would happen. It would take me back to me feeling that way when, you know, I didn't feel seen, right? So I realized like that's something that I had to learn. Like this is deeper than just like what it is. Like it's not just about the birthday or the this or the that. It's like you want people to see you, you want to feel this way because that there was a point in time when you didn't, right? For me, I looked at it as, okay, well, since I felt this way, I don't want anyone to feel this way. And then other people looked at it as, oh, well, since this isn't a big deal, like I don't want to be an inconvenience for anybody else. People could go any way with it, but the way I went was I don't want people to feel how I felt, so I went hard, right? But then I realized, like, let's take away that, like, okay, you realize that's where it comes from, okay, cool, but we don't need to do that anymore. Show up for people how they show up for you. And if you have done something for someone and then it comes around to like for them to show up for you and they don't in the way that you expect, like chalk it up to the game and keep it pushing. But you know, moving forward, I can't extend myself to you in that way. And I have a friend, Marissa, like she was telling me like not every friend, like she doesn't expect every friend to be everything for her because just people have different personalities. And me at the time, I wanted all of my friends to be the friend that, you know, I could have a deep conversation with, every friend to be the friend that I could go out to eat with. Like, I didn't want, and this also stems from something even deeper, because I guess I had friends that did not view me as someone that they could take in every room. Not as far as personality, just as far as skin tone. That's another thing. So I didn't want people to feel that way. Like, I just care deeply about like the black sheep, the one that is left out. Like, I just feel so deeply about that. So I guess it shows up in different ways. Either way, but I realized, like, no, like, I can't expect everybody to be everything for me, because that is unfair. And I also know that I can't be everything for everybody. Like, if you expect me to hang out with you every freaking week, girl, boy, that's not happening. I'm not that friend. I'm not going out every week. I'm not even going out every 2 weeks. No. Well, it depends on who you are. It really depends. But I'm not that friend. And what if someone wants me, like, what if someone expects me to be that? That's not who I am, you know? And I shouldn't have to change who I am to fit into your box, and people shouldn't have to change who they are to fit into my box, you know? But to wrap it up and put it in a bow, just be a little more graceful in that area. I'm learning to do that. And just, like, see a situation. Because, like, I did something for a loved one for their birthday, and when my birthday came around, they hit me up around like 10 p.m. happy birthday. Mind you, like, I put up bread for their birthday, right? And then they told me the other day that they went crazy for, like, the guy that they're messing with's birthday. Like, oh, I bought him this, I didn't say a thing about it. Did I feel the way about it? For maybe a good 30 seconds, but then I said to myself, Nigeria, you have grown, because you in the past would have cut somebody off or something like that. But instead it was like, no, I just know now that I can't show up. Like, I can't show up for you in that way. Y'all, I'ma go. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed this list, this video. Subscribe, give me your opinions, your thoughts. Let me know how you're feeling. I've missed you guys. It's been a minute. My hair's done. Well, my hair was always done. Don't get it twisted, but my hair is done. Did it myself, of course. And yeah, it's super hot. So yeah, I'm gonna go. I love you guys, all right? MASANi off this.